Dear friends, look at this miracle. A horse appearing at the grave of Bibi Fatima in Jannat al-Baqi, weeping and bowing in prostration. This miraculous video has gone viral worldwide. Whose ancient horse could this be? Stay tuned to find out. Welcome to Islamic Streams, dear viewers. Friends, what just happened in Jannat al-Baqi, at which grave was a horse seen crying loudly? Knowing the truth will leave you astonished, but before we proceed with the video, we request you to subscribe to our channel Islamic Streams if you are new here, and click the bell icon so you stay updated with our latest videos. Friends, a video on social media claimed that the guard sitting at the outer gate of Jannat al-Baqi at night made a shocking revelation that left people stunned. This news created a stir on social media, with many dismissing it as a fabricated story. However, the guard insisted that he actually witnessed a horse weeping loudly there, though the rest of the staff dismissed his claim as false. What exactly are they trying to hide? Everyone is curious to find out. The guard mentioned that he has been on duty at the outer part of the Jannat al-Baqi cemetery for the past 10 years and had never seen anything like this before. That particular night seemed darker than usual. Not a single star was visible in the sky, and the air was completely still, giving a sense of suffocating silence. Even at night, the guards were wiping sweat off their faces. They said there were 2 of them on duty, and they both witnessed whatever happened there. At first, they were casually chatting, but then they heard the neighing of a horse, which made them look around in surprise. They wondered where a horse could have come from at that hour of the night, but they couldn't see any horse nearby. They thought it might have been their imagination, but after a short while, the sound of neighing was heard again. This time, the 2 guards became alert, grabbed their rifles, and began patrolling the area to find out where these sounds were coming from. However, there was complete silence around them, and no one was in sight. They were deeply puzzled about how a horse's voice could be heard in such silence. They sat back down, but shortly after, the same sounds could be heard again, this time coming from inside the cemetery. The guards were shocked, wondering how any animal could have entered such a highly secure place. They opened the gate to the cemetery and went inside. As they took a few steps forward, they noticed the hoof prints of a horse on the ground. Seeing this, they were even more astonished, wondering how a horse could have entered the cemetery despite such tight security. They began to follow the hoof prints, but after a short distance, the tracks completely disappeared. This was yet another surprising fact for the guards. They searched all around but couldn't find any horse. They returned to their spot, but the next day, they heard the same sounds again. This time, the sounds were louder, as if the horse was crying and weeping loudly. Hearing this, the 2 guards re-entered the cemetery and began searching for the source of the sound. What they saw left them in shock. The sounds had stopped, and this time there were no hoofprints on the ground. The next morning, when the guards mentioned this incident to the staff present there, they were laughed at and told that they must have been dreaming. No one was willing to believe them. Friends, the guards made a startling revelation. They said the grave where they heard the horse crying and saw signs of the horse sitting was the blessed grave of Lady Fatima, peace be upon her. However, there is no confirmation of this. It has been dismissed as a fabricated story because there are scholarly differences about the exact location of her grave. We will now provide you with a detailed analysis of this topic. If we look at the evidence, it becomes clear that the blessed grave of Lady Fatima, peace be upon her, is either in Jannat al-Baqi or inside her own home, or it lies between the Prophet's grave and his pulpit, in a place known as Riyadh al-Jannah. Friends, we cannot say with absolute certainty the exact location of Lady Fatima's blessed grave. The available evidence suggests that she might be buried in Jannat al-Baqi, but there are just as many indications that she was buried in her home. Sunni scholars have historically believed that Lady Fatima was buried in Jannat al-Baqi, while some also consider it possible that she was buried in her home. In Shia traditions, there are reports stating that Lady Fatima herself requested to be buried in her home. Most Shia scholars believe, based on numerous pieces of evidence, that Imam Ali buried her in her home. We will present these pieces of evidence from hadiths and other books which indicate that she was buried in her home. Noted Sunni historian and hadith scholar Ibn Shabbah narrated from Imam Jafar Sadiq that Lady Fatima's grave was in her house, which was later included in the Prophet's mosque by Caliph Umar bin Abdul Aziz. In the Shia school of thought, the authentic narrations describe the area between the Prophet's grave and his pulpit as a beautiful piece of paradise, Riyadh al-Jannah. It is said in some traditions that this is because Lady Fatima's grave is located there. Imam Jafar Sadiq narrated that the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "The area between my grave and my pulpit is one of the gardens of paradise." This indicates that Lady Fatima's grave is among the beautiful parts of Jannah. Scholar Allama Majlisi declared this narration authentic. Friends, the esteemed scholars of the al-Baqi, such as Sheikh Saduq, Sheikh Mufid and Sheikh Tusi, have all agreed that Lady Zahra was buried in her home. This area was later made part of the Prophet's mosque during its expansion. Sheikh Saduq believed that the grave of Lady Fatima was in her house, which was later included in the Prophet's mosque. He wrote that there are conflicting reports about her burial place. Some say she was buried in Jannat al-Baqi, while others believe she was buried between the Prophet's grave and his pulpit. Dear friends, this was today's video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. O Allah, the most generous, the provider of sustenance, I turn to you, asking for your abundant mercy and blessings. Grant me wealth and success in a way that brings me closer to you. Ya Allah, provide me with lawful sustenance and keep me away from any form of haram, forbidden earnings. Protect me from falling into debt and hardship. Make me grateful for your blessings and never let me become arrogant or ungrateful. O Allah, you are the owner of all riches, the sustainer of all creation. You give without measure, and you bless without limit. Bless me with abundant wealth that I can use for good deeds, charity, and supporting my family. Grant me success in my endeavors, in my business, in my career, and in all that I strive for. Make my affairs easy and open the doors of opportunities for me. O Allah, you are the bestower of blessings and the one who raises and lowers. Increase my provisions and grant me contentment with what you have given me. Protect me from greed, envy, and wastefulness. Make my wealth a means of gaining your pleasure and reward. Allow me to help the poor, support the needy, and be generous in my charity. Ya Allah, the all-knowing, the most wise, guide me to make wise financial decisions. Bless my investments and ventures and keep me away from harm and loss. Grant me barakah, blessings, in my time, wealth, and family. Let my success be a source of good for others and a path to your paradise. O Allah, the opener of all doors, open for me the doors of your mercy, the doors of your wealth, and the doors of your blessings. Remove from my heart any fear, anxiety, or doubt about my future sustenance. Increase my trust in you and grant me peace of mind. Before you go, make sure you have subscribed to our channel Islamic Streams. Click the bell icon so you don't miss any of our future videos. Take care and we will see you again in the next video. Until then, may Allah be your protector.